Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I wanted to sort of make a video about how I figure out and plan and prep for drawing challenges. October is a huge month for them, and I just wanted to give you some tips and tricks and show you what I do, and maybe that'll inspire you, motivate you, or help you in making some of your own decisions. Now, I did a video last year about my feelings and thoughts about Inktober. I will link that in the description box. That is not a challenge I do in October anymore. So last year I did Drawlloween, and I'm doing it again this year. And if you are not on Instagram, I will sort of link this. You can probably see the main image, but she put her list out really early. In fact, towards the end of August, so people had tons of time to prep and prepare, and I really appreciate that. So this is from Mab Graves on Instagram, and she is a wonderful artist. Her art is absolutely phenomenal. And so this is how I prep and prepare. So the first thing I look at is I did an inventory a while back of every single art supply that I own. Yeah. Welcome to micro organizing. This is what it looks like. I was doing it for my no buy art supply, but I use it now every time I go to do a creator drawing challenge. And all my paper inventory is in one section, and I can look and see how many pages there are one-sided versus, you know, how many I've half filled, like this one. And I have little W's and A's, like I can watercolor on this one, I can acrylic on this one. And it's just notes to help me try and narrow down and figure out what I want to use for this challenge. So I am currently toggling between three things. I have the Stillman Burn Epsilon, which is one of their more sort of thinner. It's the drawing, and it's right here. There's 46 pages. I did a watercolor test because the paper's thin, but this would definitely work. There's 46 pages though, and I need something that better fits 31. This is my lectern that's huge. It's 8 1/4 by 11 3/4 inches. And I partially filled this with an April creator challenge. I did protest art. If you'd like to see that, I can link that one too. But in doing this, I have about 24 pages left in this book. So I'm not sure if that's quite enough. And that kind of leaves me with this one. This is my Etcher Mixed Media. It's about almost an A4 that's 230 grams, and I can see there's 26 pages. So I either go on the backs of some of these, which I might do. Oh, there's a reflection. You see the little, I don't know, camel or llama. In the corner, there's a bookmark. I haven't even opened this yet. So I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Etcher, which gives me 5 days of creating on the back side. But since this is the thicker paper, it's the 230 grams, I think it'll be fine. So I'm just gonna make a note that my choices were the Etcher, this 26 pages, the lectern, and that one had 24 pages left, or I do my Stillman and Burn, and that one had 46 pages. So I'm leaning towards the Etcher, which I am kind of in the mood to watercolor. Now last year I did Drawlloween too, and I watercolored. I'll link this sketchbook tour if you want to see it. I do see a repeat of one of the prompts, and so if I'm going to create an A4, and this is how much I used for an A5 for 31 days, I think this would be enough. However, it takes me significantly longer to fill an A4 versus an A5. So what I might do is do a deconstructed sort of illustration where it's part pencil, part pen, and then part finished watercolor. Like it goes into that final piece, because I don't have time. I know how long it takes me to watercolor. And with drying times and stuff, waiting for paint to dry for layers, it's gonna take a while, and I really want to do indigo again. So I'm thinking about indigo watercolors. And okay, and this one is the Daniel Smith, And I like this one, but not for mixing. So I just use this by itself monochromatically. This is a mixture of blue and black to make it more light fast. And it has a huge color range. So, here is one I did where the middle portion is the indigo, and you can see how dark it gets versus how light you can get. It's a huge shade range, which is really, really nice. Another color with a really huge shade range would be something like the dioxazine purple. Has a pretty huge shade range. Now, I look at the prompts, and so I pick the supplies, I pick the surface, the medium. I may use my Derwent chalks again. They're sort of blocks, Derwent blocks. I haven't used those since last October, and it's been a year, so I'm going to use those again. And then I start looking at the prompts. So the first one is self-portrait and me, and then I may combine that, I may combine that with another Halloween figure. So it's part me, part something else spooky. I don't want it just to be me. Glampire is a fancy vampire. Okay, so I'm thinking jewelry. I'm thinking crown or tiara. That would be really, really funny. And this helps me when I go through the prompt. When October starts, I have all my ideas lined up and I'm already in the mental headspace of knowing what I want to create. And I'm not sitting there spending tons and tons of time trying to come up with ideas because I've already done that. Dragon wagon. Oh my goodness. That could be done two ways. I could do a radio flyer wagon, or it could be alcohol. So, alcohol. That's an idea. The dragon could be like falling off the wagon drinking. Space case. I'm thinking alien plus briefcase. That would be really funny. Witch Wednesday. She had witch last year. And last year I painted, what did I do for witch? Some of these are repeats. So if you've done her drawing challenge before, this is what I did last year for witch. And she's kind of coming out of the depths, really spooky. So maybe I'll do something more jovial and fun. We'll see. I may lean into the creepy. Botanical beasts. Oh gosh. Dandelion. Part flower, part lion. Here's the yokai, and that is like a Japanese mythological. This is the one I did before. I was very careful to remember that when you fold the kimono over, this is, when you do leftover right, it's death. So she is deceased. Wanted her to be really, really scary for the yokai. So I probably will do another portrait of some sort. I love portraits and watercolors. Pun dead. I'm not sure about 8. This is where I have time now to research and figure out what some of this means. Scare wolf. I could do a wolf puppy. Would be really, really cute. A lagoon creature feature. I could do a landscape. And then come up with my own sort of beast or creature here. I'm thinking Creature of the Black Lagoon is what I'm thinking. And I'll have to research that 1950s movie. Is it 50s? I think so. Cult costume. It would be really funny to like draw, if witch wasn't already on here, this is why I'm doing this, to create a witch in a witch costume that's really a cliche witch costume. Like a witch with a fake nose on would be hilarious. But since witch is already here, I don't want to repeat witch again, which is why I make these lists and figure it out. So the only thing I have to do when I sit down January 1st is have a mirror and then add something spooky to it. I already know what I'm doing. All this prep, and this will probably take me at least an hour or two to prep and figure out some of this stuff, is all stuff I don't have to do when I go to paint and create. That's the easiest way to do one of these drawing challenges. You want as much notes, as many ideas, you want everything all put together. And so that way when you arrive on that day, if you're not in the mood for a wolf puppy, if you would rather just do like a scared wolf or a wolf in sheep's clothing, he can have sheep's, he can have some sort of lamb ears or something on as a joke. I have all these ideas to draw upon depending on my mood and where I'm at and what sounds the most fun to create. So I highly, highly encourage that if you are going to do a drawing challenge or a creator challenge for the month of October, you prep as much as you can now. Ideas, inspiration, create a vision board if you need to, find things on Pinterest, figure out sketchbooks, figure out your mediums, your surfaces, figure out as much as you can, and then all you have to do that day is create. I hope this video helps. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.